And we're going to get to the importance of language and the words that the abortion rights movement uses in just a minute. But I want to read to you a little bit of the stories that these women share from this article. So it's entitled 5 People Share Why Their Abortion Was Beautiful by Paige Alexandria on May 7th. And I think we've covered a piece of Paige Alexandria's before from Rewire.News. She herself has had an abortion, and she starts this article sharing about how her abortion was beautiful and how it enabled her to paint the tapestry of her life that she wanted because she wasn't burdened with the financial difficulty of a child that she probably consensually created in the first place. And then she goes on to share the stories of 5 different women. And here's just some snippets of the stories that they include in this article. This woman says, "My first abortion was a medical abortion. I was nervous about the process, but the clinic staff were kind and supportive and let me take my time. I took some pills at the clinic and brought more pills home. I cuddled up with blankets and a cat on the couch and watched music documentaries while waiting for the second round of pills to work. They did. I passed a small amount of blood and tissue into the toilet. I felt so relieved. It was beautiful." Well, that tissue was your child, a human being that you killed while watching Netflix. My second abortion was a procedural abortion. I remember drifting off to sleep in the feet holders and then waking up once it was over. I didn't feel any of it. The clinic staff gave me soda to drink and let me rest for a bit. I remember walking out of the clinic and into the sunshine, feeling elated and relieved once more. I felt overwhelmingly free. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Another woman goes on and says, "I want others to know that there's a wide range of experiences that people have. And even in circumstances that are difficult, abortion can still be beautiful." And then another woman shares her story after her and her husband find out that their baby was diagnosed with trisomy 13, meaning that the baby was going to be very unlikely to survive any more than probably a couple weeks after birth. Of course, the compassionate decision, according to the pro-life position, would be to carry that baby to term, to give them life, and to spend as much time you have with them, not intentionally killing them in the womb. But she says, "After searching our hearts and soul and crying a river of tears, my husband and I decided the most compassionate and loving thing we could do as parents would be to end the pregnancy." Well, that is some mental gymnastics right there. The most compassionate and loving thing you can do to a child is to kill them. Obviously, that's what ending the pregnancy means. Even though I had an abortion, it was an act of love. And my son was still welcomed into the world with loving arms. And he only knew the love, warmth, and security of his mother. Well, the child you delivered, man, was a dead child who was murdered at your dime by a hitman that you paid. So no, they were not delivered into the loving arms of their mother. And certainly they did not only know the love, warmth, and security of their mother, because the last thing they knew was the murder arranged by their mother. But this is the pitch now, that abortion is beautiful because it's freeing, because it frees you from the shackles of financial responsibility and parenthood, or of inconvenient children that might be difficult to provide for and raise. So abortion is beautiful. Well, if abortion is beautiful, then here's what I recommend. If abortion is such a beautiful, freeing thing, such that we should share the stories of women online so other people can experience how beautiful abortion is, then the pro-choice movement should commit themselves to lobby for legislation that requires every surgical abortion to be an ultrasound-guided abortion that the pregnant woman has to look at. If abortion is so flipping beautiful, why shouldn't we be encouraging or legislating women to view that act, that procedure in progress if it's so beautiful? That way she can watch the beauty of the forceps as they grab the skull of her unborn blob of tissue and crush it, followed by the additional limb dismemberment and rearrangement of the dead baby in pieces on the table to make sure that none of the babies are left in mom's uterus. If abortion is so beautiful, then why aren't you supporting women viewing that abortion procedure? And why are you so opposed to pro-lifers who advocate for ultrasound laws that require women to get an ultrasound and see their baby before they kill it? Why do you oppose the pro-lifers' practice of holding up graphic abortion imagery in the public square? Because abortion is beautiful, right? If it is, then don't hide it under a bushel. Don't be selfish. Share that art with everyone. Share that beauty with everyone. Don't hold those pearls to your chest. Throw them to the pigs. Let everyone see the beauty that abortion is and was for you. But the pro-choice movement does everything in their power, don't they, to hide both the reality of the child in the womb and the horror of what abortion does to that child. You remember last year, the ACLU sued the state of Kentucky over their bill entitled the Ultrasound Informed Consent Act, which would have required women to get an ultrasound and for the doctor to show her the baby on the ultrasound and describe the anatomy that they're seeing in the age of the child. The ACLU sued the state of Kentucky because of that, and they called it extreme political interference in the doctor-patient relationship and, quote, deeply unethical. Deeply unethical? If abortion is beautiful, then not only is it ethical, but we should be encouraging people to view abortion. And it certainly wouldn't be political interference in the doctor-patient relationship. And of course, they obscure the reality of dismemberment abortions by calling it what? We will gently suction out the contents of the uterus. And they describe abortion pills as a slightly heavier period. They resort to euphemisms to describe abortion. But if abortion is beautiful, then let's bring it on full force. Let's look at it. Let's welcome the reality of that beautiful, beautiful procedure into the lives of pregnant women contemplating that beautiful procedure. So why do they hide the beauty of the very procedure that they call beautiful?